Today, the topic is going to be what true defeat is. This video is inspired by a piece of Epictetus' work. Epictetus, another one of our Stoic philosopher friends, who lived a very, very long time ago, back when the Roman Empire was still a thing. There was a phrase in one of the passages in the book, and it talks about what true defeat is, when a man is truly defeated. Talked about a man in Troy, when Troy was conquered, and even though his loved ones were killed, even though his home was taken, he wasn't defeated yet. When he really was defeated was when he gave in to anger, to grief, when he gave into all of these negative emotions. Epictetus goes on to say that nobody can make you grieve. Nobody can make you suffer in that way. Nobody can make you lash out in anger. Nobody can do these things to you but yourself. And so when a man is truly defeated, is not when he loses everything, but when he gives in to all the terrible emotions. He lets them make a master, or he lets them master him. When he becomes a slave to anger or to his impulses. That is when a man loses. Nobody can defeat you. The Stoics go over this over and over again. Nobody can take everything that is of value that was given to you by God, can't be taken from you. So defeat cannot come externally. It has to come from the decisions you make. Not what happens to you, but what you do after things happen to you. If your marriage is failing, that's not defeat. A lot of people might think that's defeat, but it's not. What defeat would be in that scenario is having an affair, is giving up, is failing to communicate with your partner. That's the part that is defeat. The parts that rely on you, how you handle the situation. If you worked really hard to get good at a game and you're like in a championship or something and you lose, that's not true defeat. True defeat would be you giving into anger after that, to giving up. That would be the true defeat. Defeat can only be brought on to you by you. This is something hugely important in Stoic values. It's extremely important to remember when you feel like you are suffering a defeat. To remember that you aren't defeated until you let yourself become defeated. Until you become a slave to some emotion. To anger, to jealousy, to rage, sadness, or grief. You do these things to yourself. Next time you are defeated, just remember, you may not be defeated yet. It may just be you misunderstanding what that means. Hence the purpose of this video. That's one of the lessons I learned recently, and that's what I decided I wanted to share this week. Once again, I'll repeat it. You cannot be defeated unless you do it to yourself. Nobody can defeat you, no matter what. Socrates was thrown in jail, betrayed, exiled, whatever you want to call it, alone. But internally, he was not defeated. He never lost. Even when death came knocking, that was not even defeat for him. He knew that. Because he never gave in to any corruption, to any vices, to any sin. He stood strong until the end. He had control over his soul until the end. Nobody or anything was ever his master. he was never defeated even after he was killed. Once you understand this, you can move forward with hopefully a little more freedom, a little more strength, and overcome your failures or whatever life throws at you much better. Hope I was able to help today. I appreciate you watching.